I'm kidding. He doesn't have a movie.
God, he can't stop.
I didn't want to talk about DC all week, but guess what? We're probably going to end up talking about.
That's right, kids. By the sound of that voice, it's time for another third best Southgate. I am Phil. There's Lilith, hiding behind her anonymity.
I'm hungover. Leave me alone.
And the man who would never be anonymous, of course, the third best Southgate, Mr. Robert Southgate.
Woo! Thanks for having me. Wait, it's my show. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for talking at me.
Yes. Yeah, you got me up early again. It's 8:00 here on a Saturday morning, which, not that I'm up partying. I think I was asleep by 9:30 last night.
Woohoo!
But I'm still tired getting up. So, yeah, here we are. But I brought the coffee. I brought the bean. So I should be in good shape. So how'd you guys do this week? It was kind of a crazy week. All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be asking the questions, but I'm going to start that way.
Lilith, do you want to start this week?
It's been a doozy. Well, Nichelle Nichols, Ezra Miller, Sandman. So it's been highs and lows for sure.
Well,
yeah,
let's
talk
he's
about Nichelle Nichols for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil. What were we going to say?
No. I got a big one. No, go ahead. All right,
show off. Nichelle Nichols. That was pretty sad. I really enjoy. I mean, of course, not pretty sad. It was very sad, but I enjoyed seeing so many tributes. I loved seeing so many memes and things coming out that were not, jokey, necessarily. Yeah. I thought it was she got a lot of respect, and I thought that was really, really great. I mean, boy, what an important part of cultural history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In so many ways. And when you think about how much time, I know you guys are Trek fans, how much time we have spent watching Nichelle Nichols. I mean, geez, like I've seen them more than I've seen relatives. Yeah. So yeah, pretty cool that people were giving such lovely tributes, and it is a shame, but she was older.
She got to live to see the reinterpretation of her character, and she got to meet the person that's doing that reinterpretation.
Yeah, and also an awesome reinterpretation. I thought her interpretation was a real tribute.
Yes.
What, Strange New World?
Yeah.
And in the movies.
Oh yeah. She got to see two.
I mean, all the way around. I thought it was just awesome. So,
meanwhile, you have William Shatner saying, "Since when has Star Trek been woke?" And it's like, really?
Yeah. Well, okay. So he's Shatner.
The prednisone has gone to his head. Like, he used to be a cool dude. I don't know what he spent too much. Well, first of all, he's Canadian.
How did you pronounce toupee? What?
Shitner?
Ouch.
I mean, he is Canadian, but he spent, as with any Canadian, when they spend too much time in America, they become complete asshats. Look at Justin Bieber. I'm just saying, it's a thing. It is a thing. Americans make. Listen, American culture is toxic, and that just proves it. You come from, Canada's not. It's America light, but in a different way.
Okay, now wait a minute. You're going to say that
Bieber.
You're going to say Bieber was not toxic?
Not originally.
That America made Bieber toxic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Maybe, I learned it from watching America.
He was pretty young when he got here. So
and
maybe
he was hanging out with Justin Timberlake. I mean, no tea, no shade. Don't tell Danielle I said that. But
wow,
if you know.
Shots
Taking
fired.
them all
as a Backstreet Boy fan, I can say that confidently.
She's just taking shots from her sniper's nest, ma'am.
No kidding. Holy cow, Lilith! Did I mention it's 8:00 here? I mean, you're already taking down Timberlake. You've taken down Bieber. Who else you got in your sights?
It's after 9 here, so she's drinking.
No mimosas or Bloody Marys yet. That's after 12.
That Justin Bieber.
She has her rules.
Flapping heads.
Like in real life, exactly. South Park taught us nothing.
So tell me, is Ezra Miller anywhere on your radar here?
He's always been in my radar since the day they cast him.
Yeah,
as the Flash.
We have to hold ourselves back from doing weekly updates on Ezra Miller.
And he's in my other. He was. They had the foresight in my other franchise. Well, don't judge me because I still rock with the Harry Potter fandom despite J.K. Rowling So he was
So do
in,
I.
you know, the prequels. And they had the foresight to kind of, because he was showing issues on set. Now, Harry Potter is a Warner Brothers property. They've known this for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he was an absolute disruption on set, guys. Like, I guess when the NDAs are up in like 5 to 7 years, we'll really hear about it surviving Ezra Miller.
Right.
I'm not looking forward to it, but it's going to happen.
You are looking forward to it, love.
No,
I have a question.
I don't.
I have a question. In those pictures of him, have you noticed he does this weird thing with his hand? He's making some kind of hand symbol. Have you seen that?
No.
He's making this weird hand symbol. It's in a lot of pictures of him that keep coming out, and it's like he's always like holding it down in the corner. Let's see if I can do it here. Down in the corner.
I don't know. You're 54.
I don't have enough fingers to do it. He's making like a triangle thing.
Oh, don't say Illuminati. We're not.
No, I'm not
that.
saying Illuminati. Okay. I'm wondering what that is. It's not Illuminati. It's not Beyonce.
Okay, now go ahead. Talk about the Illuminati.
But it's this weird hand symbol, and I wondered if that is something that he's like some weird thing he's showing off.
I'm kind of scared to dig into Ezra Miller. Like I don't want to go. Like I dig into celebrity sometimes. I don't like what I find. I know I'm not probably gonna like what I find, but like I have this weird inkling that he might have certain friends in certain cults that a certain Allison Mack was a part of. I'll just say that. That's the vibes I'm getting, and I feel like if I dig deep enough, I will find that connection.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's specifically the one, but I do get this impression that he's playing around in something.
Supposedly he's been around people, and all of a sudden people don't know where they're at. Yeah,
because I don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
As I've said, that theory, it's kind of perfect that they decided that they wanted to be they. Well, right around the time they started acting out, I don't know. To each their own, but that I find that suspicious, and I would take offense, honestly, at that point.
Yeah,
they're weaponizing it. Yeah,
I just think so. I'm going to go with the same stance I had before as far as DC goes. I really think that they're going to pull the plug on this. I think they're waiting. They're playing a waiting game for some reason.
Conviction. You're absolutely right. It's some weird. I mean, that their contracts are pretty loose. If you've ever noticed any of the actors that they hire, like they're very problematic, and I'm always surprised that the studios get insurance for certain actors like Ben Affleck because he's in and out of rehabs and things like that, and just kind of like not a thing most insurance companies that insure films and stuff would be okay with, like because he needs a chaperone at all times, things like that. So yeah, their clauses are probably a little different than Marvel or Disney for sure. Right. But with Ezra, I really think that in order to, even if it's a looser contract, in order to ensure that they don't have to do some kind of extra payout or something, they're waiting for a conviction. Even an arrest at this point. They catch him and they arrest him, and then a little bit more comes out, and they can say, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna file this insurance." But I'm sure it's an insurance thing they're waiting on. Yeah.
And then putting it out. I mean, they have Michael Keaton in there. I'm sure he has a.
And they canceled Batgirl, so they're definitely letting him out of that contract with extra pay. So.
Right. And I have a feeling it might be the same thing here. And there's probably something in his contract that, like, okay, you put the suit back on and you started doing this. When we move forward, if we do some kind of multiverse thing, can we get you there? Because he obviously was having fun coming back and doing it. So I don't think we're done with Beaton.
Well, no, I do. I think that his agents and his managers and people around him absolutely want him away from DC and Warner Brothers because it's an absolute poop show at this point. It's unpredictable.
Right. I'm saying in the future. It's
always going to be a poop show, though. Like DC has this stigma now. No matter what they do, they're gonna have this stigma now, and no real actor worth their salt is gonna really want to be there. And I'm surprised, I'm just gonna let you guys know, don't expect Black Adam to do good. I think Rock is hoping that actually now Black Adam won't do good, so he doesn't have to stick around.
Right, I agree with that. How fast will he sign a contract with Marvel?
Oh, so fast. Marvel we all know behind the scenes they're like, damn, they got him first. And I mean, we've been waiting on Black Adam as long as we've been waiting on this Flash movie. So
he's probably sitting there with a pen like this, like, come on.
Wait, what show is the young Rock on? What network is that?
Was that NBC?
Oh, it's NBC, not ABC. Why did I think it was ABC? I was gonna say, see if they did
I never
it
watched
that
it,
way.
but I'm pretty sure. I thought it was NBC, but
For some reason I thought it was ABC, and that was how they were gonna get their hooks into him. But
let me look
The
it up.
Rock, we have to remember, also has political aspirations, so he is gonna be pretty much done with acting in about 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
I could see that, but I could also see him.
if Marvel
getting
backs up
that
the
Marvel
money
movie.
truck, yeah.
Yeah, getting that Marvel movie.
That's
doing
the
his
crown
thing.
jewel of his career. Although,
He's like Thanos. He's putting him in right now. And there's a real little one, which is for Kevin Hart.
And the funny thing about it is that Vin Diesel blew that Disney bag. Remember that babysitting movie that he had with Disney way back when? He blew that bag. He was just so hard to work with, and now I know he's just kicking himself. I know he's sick of those Fast and Furious movies. I know he is.
Is he?
They have to make 10 with freaking Paul Walker's brother standing in as Brian. Yes, he's sick of it, but it's all he has. It's all he has.
It is all he has.
Oh, listen to Miss F. Seen every one of those movies.
Listen, as a franchise fan, I can tell you, I haven't watched since the announcement of Hobbs and Shaw. Another reason why I really don't mess with The Rock anymore. Like, either you understand that or you don't. You messed up my franchise. Done with you. So
here's a something you don't know about me. Might as well answer a question here. I've never sat through an entire Fast and Furious movie.
not even the first one?
No.
When it was they were just robbing DVDs?
I actually have them with the intention of watching them. I've watched a little bit here and there. The first one sucks. It sucks. I have a hard time with it. I try to
it's all
watch
about
it,
the female gaze for me, though. Like, okay, listen, I don't know if you're a Family Guy fan or American Dad fan, but there's this theory that, and it kind of makes sense about the homoeroticism that's interlaced in it. And when you watch it through a female gaze under that pretext, the whole thing makes sense. And then finally, in the very last movie that they just made, right? Like, it was always a joke in the fandom. Oh, what's next? We're gonna take the cars to space, and they literally did that.
Yeah.
So,
see, that's actually why I have them, because I like that it's gone kind of crazy, kind of B-movie, campy.
Yeah.
I love that. I watched the first maybe 10 minutes of Hobbs and Shaw and freaking loved it. I was like, oh, yeah, because it's not that it's good, it's that it's embracing the fact that it's completely nuts.
Yes.
And the action is like, it's kind of like if you watched Snake Eyes.
Yes.
Snake Eyes had that same kind of like nutty, like over the top. And I mean, frankly, I had a blast with Snake Eyes, although I will say I didn't finish it. So who knows how it ends. But it was, I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, when they embrace that craziness, when they make it like a B movie with a budget, I'm good. Fast and Furious, the first one, felt like they were trying to be serious and make this heist movie. And Vin Diesel is like watching paper. It was dumb. And then I was working in a video store. Okay. I was selling high-end electronics. And it was when the third one had come out on DVD. So, oh my God, everybody was demoing Tokyo Drift.
I'm so sorry. That is the worst of the franchise.
You know what? It's pretty. It's pretty. It looks pretty. But my God, is that terrible?
Yeah. It's for the kids. It's Fast and Furious for the kids.
Is that what it is? Because it was terrible.
Yeah.
And then whenever they'd put the first two on, I was like, I don't get what the appeal is here. It's just
okay. It's actually about modern day pirates, though.
But it's also the same problem I have with Top Gun, and I know everyone's loving Top Gun too.
My picture's already off. Phil, you might want to.
I hate the first Top Gun. When that came out, when that movie came out, everybody's loving it. Everyone's got to see it. You got to see it. You got to see it. And I was open to it. Maeve and I were like, yeah, we'll watch this. It'll be, everyone's raving about this thing. And my parents were like, oh, it's the best movie. So we sat down to watch it.
You're not for military propaganda. That's all.
Yeah, my parents were
I hated it. I was like, the two of us sat there like, this is the dumbest movie. The dialogue sucks. Yeah, the stuff with the planes flying is kind of cool. But is that enough I could go watch a documentary about planes.
For some people it is.
Sure. For me and for the cultural impact it had, no way. So the second one, like, I really don't have an interest in seeing it. Everyone's raving about it. And I'm like, and then they keep saying,
the kids don't know.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not
Miles Teller with the porn stash, not my thing. I totally get it.
Yeah, so I'm just, maybe I'm just a fuddy-duddy about it, or maybe it's like, but I'm not a hater. You guys know, like when you start talking about pop culture stuff, I'm in on most things, even stuff that's bad. I like when it's just like gearhead stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't really connect. Watching cars go in a circle doesn't do it for me. Cars going into
weird
space.
Subculture for sure. Like it's that weird thing, and then you just kind of stick with it, and it just gets more ridiculous, and it gets super funny, and then it's just
which is why I like
a joke.
Which is why I'm interested in the later Fast and Furious, which is why I have them. And but I want to watch the beginning to see. Okay, I'll sit down and I'll watch
the de-evolution. Actually,
I'll watch and I'll stomach those first 3, and then let's get crazy. And frankly, like I said, that Hobbs and Shaw thing was nuts, and it had Idris Elba. I'm like, I'm all in on this.
Well, Idris Elba has been trying to become an action star for quite a while, and it's actually now just working out for him. If you've noticed the trend of his next 2 movies that are due out.
Well, what's that movie? So there's one movie where he basically gets chased and fights a lion. Is that the movie?
Yeah, that's like that one Rock movie. So he's definitely following the Rock trajectory on movies for some reason.
I'm assuming there's a story behind it, but from the
I think it was based on a video game, just like that one Rock movie. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking.
Which Rock movie? Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage and Jumanji. But
yeah. Our cousin loved the Jumanji reboot with The Rock and Kevin Hart. Loved it, and we sat down and watched it. And it was okay. It was okay. She loved it. She thought it was fantastic, and I get it. I mean, there are people that really, really love it.
Robin Williams is the gold standard. So just like with Will Smith is the genie in that lie, that it's just never gonna work. If you're replacing Robin Williams in a reboot, never gonna work, bud. You're never gonna be that guy for me. Never.
Yeah, but when he slaps Aladdin, it's pretty engaging.
Well, somebody needed to do it.
Keep my tiger's name out your mouth. There it is. Nice, Phil.
Thank you.
All right, have we started the show yet? Welcome.
Yeah, we started. Now you can
ask
some questions, Phil.
I guess Lilith and I can start with our questions. Rob gave himself questions for the last 17 minutes. All right. No, I was going to try to piggyback on Ezra, but you just kept going. No, so the whole WB Discovery thing. It's like, what is going on over there? Okay, you brought up Ezra. So, and you said maybe they're waiting for insurance, stuff like that. Okay, maybe they are waiting for. Is that the plan for the Flash movie? They're waiting for the insurance thing, and then 2.
I told you it was never going to come out, Phil. I told you this years ago.
But like he's saying, are they waiting for the right timing so they can get the insurance? And if Ezra does get arrested, they're like, then they're like, you know what? Well, we need to give our friend time to get in a good headspace and maybe get some help.
No, they're not doing that.
No, we're totally dropping Ezra.
Yeah, and
yeah, but I'm just saying that they'll make a sweet little statement.
No, they won't.
They'll
that's
never
not DC's way.
They'll never come back up.
And I also don't know. I mean, yes, the insurance is part of it. I also think they're waiting for, and justifiably, it's going to happen, something bad enough that they can just say they don't have to pay him, and they can say, all right, we're burning this to the ground, because they've already started that process, canceling the Batgirl movie, moving some things here and there. They've already started the process, but with the Flash, that's their tent pole, because that's their big Justice League world. They can, when this happens, they can say, okay, Aquaman 2 is the end of that era. Wonder Woman 3, end of that era.
Shazam 2 will be the end of that era.
Will it? Does that come out after Wonder Woman 3?
Black Adam, yeah.
Oh, really?
After Aquaman, I know. I think, yeah.
I don't know the order of these.
And we're not getting a Wonder Woman 3. I don't care what they say. There's a lot of bad blood there, and Patty freaking hates working with them. I know she can't say that, but I can say that for her. After what they did to Wonder Woman 2, there's not going to be a Wonder Woman 3. No, you don't even understand the half of it. If you actually go and research the previous scripts and even the book that they put out, the novelization of the story, you clearly see that that's not the story she was trying to tell.
It's
and
so
they brought in a man to do the stuff that she didn't want to do. So, it's not going to happen, babes. Wonder Woman 3 not happening.
Good, because the first one's a lot of fun. It has some really great stuff in it. That second one is...
Wonder Woman should have been with Cheetah. We should have just left it at that.
Wonder Woman was the high point. Wonder Woman 2 was the low point. That was really terrible.
I didn't really even like the first one that much, but...
Oh,
it was a B+. It was a B+. The bar is not that high at DC for good movies.
I will say you're right. I will say you're right. Other than the No Man Land sequence, which was just a spectacular bit of filmmaking.
For a lot of people that brought it up.
There was a lot in it that you were like,
Corny.
it's okay. Yeah.
Rot. Trite.
Yep. So, and Aquaman, I watched Aquaman on a plane.
I watched it with the sound off.
You know what? It was. I thought Aquaman was all right. It was not great. It was like a lower level Marvel movie.
If you love Jason Momoa, it's Jason Momoa being Jason Momoa, constantly soaking wet. There you go.
Yeah, which is why you watched it with the sound off.
Exactly. Amber Heard too. She's very attractive to look at, but I can't be with a woman who poops in the bed. So
no.
At least unconsensually.
Unless, Danny DeVito's not a woman. So yeah, I guess.
What?
Come on, you know Always Sunny when he poops the bed.
Yeah.
One of the greatest episodes of TV ever.
Well, that's every episode of It's Always
Sunny.
Oh my
God.
That's none of my business.
Hey, do you guys? Yeah, Phil.
No, I was gonna say Aquaman. I said the movie wasn't bad. The worst thing I didn't like about it was Jason Momoa.
Except from Spider-Man. Yeah, except from the Spider-Man syndrome. Too many villains. Too much. Too soon.
Yeah, Black Manta should have had his own movie. Ocean Master should have had their own movie. Yeah,
Absolutely.
But
I think they were trying to rush it in there to build a mythology around Aquaman because everyone still was making the jokes that he was that orange suited guy riding a dolphin and talking to fish, and they're like, we got to show him that he has villains.
But again, every couple of years they say we got a 10-year plan. We got a 10-year plan. They want to do what Disney did with Marvel in the worst way. And
yeah, well, they do. They have a 10-year plan, and they scrap it, and they get another 10-year plan. And then
that's what I said. They hit a speed bump, and they completely changed course. So yeah, Marvel, they no matter what speed bump they hit.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about all this, and y'all know I have reconciled my feelings with Brandon Roth. I love him, love his wife, did a great job on the Arrowverse, but if they would have just conceded and not made Superman Returns, when Nolan said no, I don't want to be a part of your universe, but they kind of forced the issue. If you notice, he's still like an executive producer on that Man of Steel. Like because it's a mess. If they would have just conceded and not made Superman Returns like a continuation of the actual other Superman movies. Where people were so confused, like, why does Superman have a baby? It's like, well, first of all, you didn't watch the Donner Cut because you probably don't even know that the Donner Cut exists.
Right.
So, like, why would you do that? Yeah. That's where the issue stems from. They tried to roll with the flow and turn into the skid, and this is the problem. This is why when Charlie says turn into the skid, I say you don't know what the F you're talking about because they tried that, and this is where we're at. And I'm very pissed.
Right. You're 100% right. Yeah, and really, when Nolan had the Nolanverse, it was actually the third movie that the skid really started.
Yes.
Because the first two were so glorious, and then that third one,
he did the Sam Raimi route. No, I'm gonna tank this movie so you don't ask me to do anything.
And not just that, I think just like with Sam Raimi, I think the corporate part put so much pressure on that's why they said, okay, fine, I'll do what you say. And that'll get me out of this contract.
Exactly.
Because, oh my God. I mean, Batman's in it for what, 10 minutes?
And honestly, the thing about it is that I don't know if you guys know. I know I talk about the show probably a lot. Phil has never seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. Person of Interest, which Jonah Nolan, which is his brother, right? Did the best live action Batman show to ever exist, Person of Interest, without it being actual Batman. They could have tapped him to do the Superman stuff, but they didn't. Didn't.
Is Person of Interest, which one is that?
Jim Caviezel. And
oh my God, that is such a good show.
Is it not? It's a realistic portrayal. If Batman was actually a person in this world, that's what it would be.
Such a good show. We watched the first season and then fell off. But my God, that was such an excellent show.
Jonah is a freaking genius, and they never even bothered to ask him.
Rob literally fell off the couch.
Right. But that's like with Marvel when they went to what's his name's for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was like, wait a minute, why are we keeping this in the
Well, we all know it was his brother and not Joss.
Right.
Was the genius. So
right. And they were working with him, but they kept getting Joss involved, and it was like, what happened here? What happened here? Yeah, I don't these are mistakes.
They learned their lesson. listen, to be fair, sometimes you have to learn that lesson that, cachet
Well-
is actually not a good thing. You want
Right.
somebody that's young
Well-
and hungry.
Well, I
not
would say
somebody
I would say Marvel learned it. DC
Yeah.
has not learned it.
Well,
obviously.
what did they have
Bendis, Whedon.
Did they have plans where Joss Whedon was going to be a bigger thing in Marvel, and then they found out
Well,
who Joss Whedon was, and they're like, nah, it's okay.
Well, actually, if you compare all the other movies, like in that phase one, I mean, they did. I mean, like, it's not like they're not critical darlings. They're just, it is what it is. It's a phenomenon. It's a trend. But like the other later movies actually do get better in caliber and story and scope.
Sure.
Those are really basic. I mean, beyond like just like the first issue of Superman, basic superhero stuff. It
Right.
hurts. It's so basic.
Right.
It's chuggy, as the kids would say.
Chuggy. Wow, Lilith, bring in the words.
Basic.
You basic. I heard it. So, yeah, that first phase until we get to the Avengers, they did have some really interesting things going on. But you're right; they were more basic. But I think that was set by boy, I can't think. I told you now it's 8:30 in the morning. So, what's his
I don't
name?
know any names at Marvel.
Iron Man. No, Iron Man, the guy who made
Oh,
Iron Man.
Favreau?
That's what
Favreau.
they should have kept. But he didn't want to do it either because of that pressure. He's like, give
Right.
me my cooking shows. I'll be happy. It's fine.
Yeah, and then he moves on to Star Wars and does the same thing there. He's one that they really should have backed off because Iron Man 2 is where they started messing with him, and he made a movie that people don't like. I like it, but
I like it.
it is not. You can tell that's where that interference happens, just like in the third Batman movie from Nolan, where okay, we need to start building mythology and getting these things in here, and we need to force extra, story and extra characters, and it's like that's not really what we want. And now they are still dealing with that because you can't see a damn Marvel movie where they don't have 10 other heroes showing up and stealing spotlight. It's like,
But that's what the fans want, to be fair.
yeah, but you know what? When I was reading comics in high school and college and like really into it, that was not my favorite thing. I know everyone
It's
was
not
like,
for you, though, sweetie. Like,
Okay.
the MCU fans are a different beast. Like, Phil and I have this conversation all the time. And people that specifically only watch DC movies and don't know anything about comic books. Those movies aren't for us. It's icing on the cake that we finally that I got to
finally
see
doing it,
Avengers
right.
in a movie, but like it's not for us.
And again, in this era, it's like, oh, hey, who showed up in this movie? Well, you got to watch Disney Plus, or hey, who's at the end
Yeah.
of this Disney
It's
a
Plus
whole
show? You got to watch a
enterprise.
movie.
I also don't mind. Like, okay, so Doctor Strange 2. That actually made sense, and introducing America Chavez in it and all that. Like, I'm okay with that. It's when we go to see Ant-Man and there's 4 other Avengers in it.
It's to make up because he wasn't in the first one. As Pym propaganda will have us tell us about the play. They put him in there. So
Yeah.
they regret it.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. It's just, to me, I would like to see. Black Widow did it. They kept the Avengers out. They kept it to Black Widow. We got 2 new heroes introduced in there. It was more interesting for me that way. It was a smaller scope as far as that goes. I know Black Widow gets busted on. I thought Black Widow was fantastic. I really enjoyed that movie. And actually, I'll tell you something. We talked about that on Enough Said, 10 years ago? They should have done Black Widow earlier, and they should have made her the Marvel James Bond. They should have had like serious
I mean,
spy
they literally
stuff
had
going
Scarlett
on.
Johansson, at the time, one of the most beloved women on.
That would have been a
the face of this earth.
franchise. That franchise could have been as good as the Cap franchise, because the Cap movies, just all 3 of them exceptional.
She's my favorite part of the only reason why I actually ended up that's the only actual Captain America movie that I've watched all the way through is the one with her in it, and the same with the Iron Man movie. I was just like, if she had
She's in 2 of them. She's in she's in Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Civil War is not really like none of Cap's movies are actually his movies. So
Right. Civil War is like an Avengers movie.
Yes.
Although it's got some amazing Captain America stuff in it, but Captain America 2.
Yes, that's my favorite
Winter Soldier,
Marvel movie.
Me too, actually. I think it might be my favorite one of the whole series.
Chris
So-
Evans can get it all day, every day.
Oh, yeah. You know what, Phil and I
Except
agree.
for when he's playing Buzz Lightyear. Ooh, that was an
Didn't
L
watch
for
it.
an L for my guy, bro. That was an L.
How about in Knives Out? Did you like him in that?
Oh, of course.
Big
He's in a
corded
comfy-
sweater.
Yes, comfy, cozy, casual. Yes, he can do it all.
Did you
No
like him
problem.
in how about Bad Boy Skater actor guy in
My favorite movie is that movie where he says babies taste bad.
What is that? Is that this one?
That train movie. It's the train movie.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet.
They got a whole show on it. I mean, he doesn't
I know.
show
I watched.
Up, but yeah.
I watched the first 2 episodes of the show. It's kind of like watching. I really liked it too. What is the name of that one? I can't think of anything today.
I can't think of anything either because I'm hungover.
But that train one, the first 2 episodes, it reminded me of like Stargate first season, where it's like the effects are not. Yes. Snowpiercer. The effects aren't great. The acting is a little weird, but there's something really cool going on, and you kind of get gripped into it. That's what it reminded me of. Even though I'm like, man, this is like kind of C grade quality.
It's TNT, babes. What do you want? TNT is holding on by a damn thread.
Well, they've got a good property there, though.
Ever since they got rid of leverage, like in the librarians, like they are holding on by a thread.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of them that are hanging on by a thread right now.
USA looking at you. That was my goat. Look, listen, hey. the downfall of basic cable. Okay.
Hey man, they play. Hey, nothing else, man. They'll play some SVU 24/7.
I have to say,
and like Supernatural in the morning, yes sir.
Basic cable back when all those shows, when TNT and USA were they had all those great shows.
It doesn't make money anymore.
USA Up All Night.
What was great? Oh, I loved that too. What was great then is that was very much an extension of like public access with money.
Yes.
And I used to love public access. We still talk about a couple of public access shows that we used to watch all the time. There was one out of Minneapolis. You guys got to look this up. It's on YouTube. You will fall into a rabbit hole with this. It was called Viva and Jerry. And they actually got so far that they ended up on Letterman one time. But it was 2 older Minnesotans that should not have been on TV. They were not TV ready.
Oh, the original Tom Green.
Oh, but this is so much better. And I liked the original Tom Green too. I thought Tom Green was a lot of fun. But these 2, they would go to like garage sales and buy a bunch of crap. And then they'd sit there and like and they had the big Minnesota accents. She'd be like, "Oh, look at this cute bobblehead." I go, "Oh, the cute bobblehead." And he'd sit there and he had this big thumb and he'd just go, "Oh yeah, oh." And she'd go, "Oh, we know how much this costs." And he'd start ringing the bell going, $2, $2. Ah! It was like he was brain damaged.
That's our show.
What? Oh my God.
I'll talk about Funko Pops and you'll give the thumbs up and tell how much it costs.
$2, but it's always $2. $2. And we watched this show all the time. And like I said, they ended up on Letterman. You got to watch it. Viva and Jerry. But yeah, that was then came the cable shows and they were scripted dramas, but those early ones before like Mad Men and that changed the world were very much like low budget TV, scripted dramas. I mean, look at Psych.
Nikita, baby. Yes, I am. Yes.
La Femme Nikita.
The original Highlander TV series. Absolutely. Yeah.
Psych.
Yes.
Psych was so great. And you were like, you watch it and you go, what did they spend? About $40 on sets? I mean, they shot it in somebody's office, but they had a pretty good script and they had fun characters. And
I was going to say the cast sold that one. That's definitely.
Well, that was the thing that they had going.
USA literally was a cult of personality for every single show.
And that's what they did for their advertising. Characters live here. And it was like, that was right. Monk was great. That kind of show you don't get now. Because it's either on network show TV, which network TV still doesn't get it right with that stuff.
It's dead.
Or it becomes these, prestige dramas. You wouldn't get Monk the way it was. Monk would suddenly turn into Mindhunter, and you're like, no, I want this like kind of cheap, fluffy, great character stuff.
I mean,
and I want Tony Shalhoub and everything.
But I mean, the networks and even now basic cable, aren't they just pandering to the like older people? No offense, Rob.
People who can't figure out streaming don't have kids to figure it out for them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, it's lowest common denominator every time. And you know what? It's okay. I mean, there's an audience there. I don't need everything to be prestige drama. And I don't need everything to be, streaming.
It's reality TV is actually the writer strike of 2007. Yeah, that's the one. That really where they forced all the reality shows and they were like, oh, it's so cheap to make and we don't have to pay them anything and we can edit this and they have no say because they're not really actors. There's no union. That's what changed the game.
Yeah. Well, and from a writer standpoint, all you have to do is create a thin storyline that you
And
keep
edit.
feeding.
It's all editing.
You feed it into the show, and you edit around it to make it look like there's story there that's really pretty thin, but you do create the drama out of it.
All you need is a sound clip.
I was just listening to the Always Sunny podcast. Have you listened to this podcast yet?
Everybody has a podcast. No, who
Okay.
hosts it?
First of all, I'm going to throw this out there. If you like Always Sunny, you must. This is a companion that is a must listen. It's Charlie, Dennis, and Mac host it.
No, really?
They host the show and they go through every episode. And of course, they don't really talk about the episodes. They kind of do. But they're doing a rewatch of the episodes from the beginning. So they're like, I don't even remember filming this, but they tell some stories and you get a lot of their personality. And you know what? They're exactly who you think they are. It's so great. They're funny. They're being just themselves. They give a lot of like behind the scenes stuff where you find out like, yeah, I mean, they were talking today. I was listening to the newest episode. No, the newest one just dropped. The one just before. And, it was about their version of America's Next Top Model. And they were talking about this, and they said, yeah, the actual camera that they shot the first season is in the show. They're like, they said what the camera was. They're like, it wasn't HD. It was like, we didn't even have the money. It was like a cheap camera. They shot the entire show on this cheap standard definition camera. And they actually resisted going into high def because they're like, it's going to ruin the show. And it's really interesting, but they're funny. Lilith, trust me, you're going to binge the shit out of this.
My favorite TV show companion podcast will forever be Lost. I'm sorry. Nothing good. It's
Jane
like
Jack?
old. Yeah.
Jane Jack Lost podcast. It was one of the things that inspired our network to happen.
All right, I got to bring it up again, and like I said, I'm working through the podcast since the show is almost over. It also has a great podcast. Rob, Better Call Saul.
Oh my God, 5 stars.
Yeah. The podcast is really good too because
I haven't listened to the podcast.
Yeah,
they
have
it's
the
Vince
creators.
Gilligan. Yeah,
Yeah, Vince Gilligan's on there. Peter Gould's on there. They have editors.
Vince
on there.
Gilligan is hosting the show.
Yeah, he's on there every episode. They have like 2 of the editors, like the official host. But yeah, he's on there every episode.
We are big Vince Gilligan fans from even before Breaking Bad. We loved his episodes on X-Files. You know what? The X-Files, just like Lost, that was one. X-Files happened too early for podcasting. If podcasting was happening
too early for internet thing. I mean, sure there were like the forums, quote unquote, but yeah, too early.
Yeah, I mean, look how big it was now. I mean, it was then. If it was around now, yeah.
But the way like Jay and Jack did with Lost, if X-Files had podcasting behind it, that would have been the impetus, like Lost was. The Lost stuff was really the impetus for the success of podcasting. I can't tell you how many podcasters I talked to that started because they listened to Jay and Jack and they listened to that kind of stuff. I've actually reached out to Jay and Jack to try and get him on in Pod Life 2 or 3. I get no response. I've contacted him to be interviewed on stuff. I get no response. And the thing is, I've heard they're like super nice guys. I don't think they check their emails. It's weird. Like I can't seem to get to them, but I would love to talk to those guys because they were what podcasting really was. It was not celebrity driven. It was a couple of guys. You kind of got the idea of their relationship and their friendship and blah, blah, blah. While at the same time, they just were fans of the show. Man, that was must listen podcasting. Sunny is the same way. Lilith, you're going to go crazy.
I will definitely I will add it to the list.
And they've changed it now. So about halfway through this first season, they now have a video element. So you can watch them sitting there. And they do funny stuff with the video stuff of them just sitting around, like because Dennis is out shooting a movie. So they have a blow up doll version of Dennis that sits there and they just make fun of it. And but he's on, like he's calling in. So like, Dennis, are you ever going to close your mouth? It's so funny. It's so good. It's so good. And one of the writers is the one who's producing the show, Meg. And you love her. And you get to kind of her backstory. And then every once in a while, the best is what's her name? What's her name? Now I'm losing. Oh my God. Caitlin Olsen.
Oh.
Yeah, they shoot it at Mac's actual house, and he's married to Caitlin. So a couple of times Caitlin's come in and sat down and oh my God, she is the crown jewel of that. I wish they get Danny on. I'd love to hear Danny talk. They haven't had him on yet, but it's great.
Yeah, that Better Call Saul podcast is great.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Phil, you just got me. I'm gonna put it on. I'm doing yard work today. I'm putting that on immediately.
Oh yeah, I mean, season 6, the final episode is on Monday. So I mean, yeah, you'll have like 6 seasons to listen to.
Now, have you guys listened? Or have you guys watched Better Call Saul all the way through?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
we are up to the point. I think we are 3 or 4 episodes. I think we have 2. Maybe it's 2 episodes, and then the finale that's going to come out this weekend is where we're at. So we know nothing. I know some major stuff happens. We got to the point where we saw the one big character get killed.
Oh yeah.
And we've heard there's other stuff. We're like,
oh my God, I don't know if you're there yet, but Carol Burnett is in the last couple episodes. She is so good in this role.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you actually
joking
joking
I'm
with
serious.
me? You're not messing with it.
Yeah,
Carol
no,
Burnett.
I mean, and it's like a dramatic role. It's not like a funny. She is so good.
I am so excited. I'm so excited. And we loved it in the beginning when it was kind of weird. When Michael McKean was on, it was like,
yeah,
you watched it and you were like, it's not like Breaking Bad, but it is. And it was kind of,
it's better than Breaking Bad.
Quiet. And oh, no way. It fits. I would not call one better than the other. Although I might say Breaking Bad is slightly better. Just because
it broke the mold.
Bryan Cranston.
Oh, Bryan Cranston
is a force of nature on that show. As much as I love Saul and I love these characters, Bryan Cranston is one of those guys. By the end of that show,
he goes from Hal. Well, actually, he goes from Tim Watley to Hal to Heisenberg.
Yeah, he was on X-Files.
Greatest character. Everybody was in X-Files, babes.
But that's how Vince Gilligan got to know him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. If I remember right, it's a Vince Gilligan episode that he was on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I think he did mention that on the podcast the one time. Yeah, that's where he knew.
We just watched. Speaking of the X-Files effect, we just watched Final Destination. I had never seen it.
Which one? The final one or the first one?
The first one. We had never seen the first one. We have the box set, so we're going to work our way through.
Devin saw why I still love you.
So the first one, that series is actually, they call it the Wongs, are the ones that made that, and it's 2 of the writers from X-Files. So when you watch it, knowing it's the Wongs that did it, you're like, oh my God, it has this X-Files vibe to it. We were really digging that. And then I just found out today, I didn't know this about Supernatural. Kim Manners.
Yeah, Kim Manners, baby. Kicking in the ass all day. Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, they even dedicated after he passed away. There's a couple episodes dedicated to him.
So I watched...
the first 3 seasons. You don't have to watch anything else.
You're not going to believe this, Lilith. As much as I watch, I've only seen the first episode of Supernatural.
It's tough to get through. It's very dark. It's very clunky, but it does get super
the first
good.
episode is a masterstroke. I loved it. And I said to Maeve, I'm like, you got to watch this with me. It feels like X-Files.
The lighting didn't bother you because it was made on a shoestring budget. So,
no. Well, watch that first season of X-Files. Does it bother you there?
Oh, well, kind of. But I'm young. I watched that when I was like a kid, and it still bothers me.
Yeah, you millennials with your HD TV.
Yeah.
We had to look through we didn't have 480 lines for resolution.
It was 2 potato.
We had, instead of 480, I think our resolution was about 7.
Yeah, so 7 potato, that's about right.
I mean, come on, we watched on TV where there was a line going like this through the whole thing. This movie's great.
Oh, that dirty
I watched some
movie
of that
cover
old
up.
stuff, like I think that what is it, the Munsters actually were shot in really great resolution for some random reason. Like certain shows. Yeah. And
I think it was
Lucy.
the lighting.
And
I think it was the lighting, and I think they were doing it at a studio a lot where they had a little higher grade camera.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Munsters, this movie looks like hot garbage.
What movie?
The remake.
The remake, the Rob Zombie one?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God I haven't heard about that.
Lilith, go watch the trailer.
Just look at the pictures.
Yeah, and then you can start drinking today. It's and the thing is, on all the geek sites, it's like they keep going like, ooh, one more image from the Munsters, one of this. And I'm like, do you understand this looks awful?
How is it that in this day and age, the original looks better than this?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's weird.
It looks like a Spanish soap opera, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With like super green tint over it. And like they're like, oh, but he's going back to the original. He's making it funny. I'm like, yeah, because
It
Rob
was already
Zombie's
funny.
known for being so funny. He understands comedy.
Did he
Comedy
cast his wife
lives
in
there.
anything?
Oh yeah, she's Lily.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, no tea, no shade, but that's an interesting artistic choice.
Who didn't see that coming?
I was like, wait a minute, because she don't fit the bill for nobody. But okay.
But when you watch this trailer, it's funny because I was not into it at all. Then the trailer comes out, and during the trailer, it's a 2-minute trailer, about 45 seconds in or so, it kind of got me. I was like, okay. I mean, it doesn't look good, but I could watch this. I wasn't loving it, but I was okay. Then it gets to the end, and it does this corny joke that's so bad. It is so bad, and you can tell immediately, oh no, this is going to be the tone of the movie. Somebody cut the trailer trying to hide this. Here it is.
But the hero of the story is the person that left that joke in.
So bad. It makes Dark Shadows look like an Oscar winner.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
The Johnny Depp Dark Shadows?
Yes. I would rather watch that on repeat for the rest of my life than have to watch this Munsters movie.
Oh.
It's bad.
Well, at least the Addams Family reboot.
Addams Family movies are great.
Although I know a lot
like
of people
both
have problem with the like the CGI claymation one. Like a lot of people.
I didn't watch that one.
Good. I thought they were both okay, but like the new like actual live action one that's coming out, I'm like, I know it's not Rami Malek, guys, but get your heads out of your butt. Let's just give it a chance.
See, I really enjoyed the two films with Raul Julia. I thought those were great. Those were great. And then the second one's not as good as the first, but it's got great moments in it. That one, the second movie is really Wednesday's movie. Wednesday makes that.
Oh no, it's they're making the that's what it is. They're making the
the Wednesday show. That looks good.
Yeah.
That one looks really good. And Christina Ricci has come out and said, yeah, this is really good. And I know actors always do that to try to pump things up, but
not Christina Ricci though. She minds her damn business. Either she says something because she likes it, or she says nothing.
Or she'd keep her mouth shut. Did you watch Yellow Jackets?
No.
Oh my God. So Molly was at Interlochen.
Poor Phil can't get a word in.
By the way, Molly went to Interlochen for creative writing.
I saw the post. Yeah,
she was there on a merit scholarship. She won a Fine Arts Award in creative writing. Amazing. 3 writers in the program got it out of the 6 weeks. We watched last year's award show. None of the writers got it. So it's not like, oh, we have to give a couple of words here. No. They either give it or they don't.
Based.
And
Kelly
she got one. Yeah, Kelly was freaking out that she got one.
Were they in the same cabin or no? I just saw her. She asked what cabin she was in because I know Kelly had gone. Okay.
Kelly was in cabin 7. She said Molly was in 118. It's a little bigger camp than when Kelly was there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they actually had actual pencils. I think Kelly, when she was there, they had to do things with coal.
I'm telling.
I love how, Molly's, on the up climb to, change the world. Rob's like, while I was waiting in the car for her, I watched a shitload of TV.
Honestly, that's how a lot of gifted children are, honestly.
Yeah, we don't know how it happened, but it happened. So, yeah, we had that. I was going to say something. Oh, while she was gone, we watched a bunch of TV. So we watched Yellow Jackets, which do not walk, and go watch Yellow Jackets. It gets better and better and better. And Christina Ricci is freaking amazing in it. In fact, everybody is fantastic on this show, from the kids to the adults. And they do this thing kind of like It was supposed to be, where you see the kids and then you see the adults flashing back and forth instead of splitting it into 2. In this, you see what's happening to the teenagers, and then it cuts to them as adults. The casting is great. You totally know. As soon as you see the adult, you know which kid they are. And not just because, they wear the orange jumper or whatever. No. It's really great casting, and the acting is great.
So, Beaches.
Oh, Beaches without the Midler. But Lilith, it's dark.
No, that's Midler?
It's dark, and oh my God. And the ending came out of nowhere. You're like, what? Season 2, when are you happening? And then the other one we watched, which might have overshadowed Yellow Jackets. I would have been screaming about Yellow Jackets right after we watched Severance. Have you watched that?
On Apple TV?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Adam Scott, that show.
Listen. No. That's a warning. That's like Black Mirror level warning, guys. I don't.
Yeah.
No, take that serious.
No kidding. Actually, when we started watching it, I immediately identified this. This is somebody who wrote this.
Predictive programming.
Well, they're obviously a Philip Dick fan.
Well,
This was Philip Dick all over the place. It was so great. And I've read tons of Philip Dick short stories and books. So as soon as it started up, and I'm like,
a true fan of pop culture without having that, and unfortunately a little Eldritch Tears as well.
Theodore Sturgeon too. Got to add him in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was Philip K. Dick's world come to life. All the paranoia, all the corporate overlords. So I was like, oh my God. And how about that ending?
Yeah.
I mean, did you see it coming that was going to happen the way it did?
I'm not going to be a pretentious asshat and say yes. No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
I thought it was going to be something way worse, actually.
Me too. But I think that does have its Bible for the show.
Yeah.
So I think the way worse is on our horizon. And I think way worse than we're even thinking is on the horizon. This is not a show that Ben Stiller, this is his show. He's running this show.
Oh, it's Alan.
He is not playing, Zoolander.
He has a very specific insight into the industry because of, who he is and how he was raised and who his parents are. And
I heard a great interview with him.
Buffer.
I heard a great interview with him when he was talking about how he really always just wanted to be a director and producer.
Yeah.
But he kept getting acting roles probably because of his parents.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's funny. He is funny in his movies and he's good. But if you go back to watch the stuff that he created, like Cable Guy, you go, oh,
yeah,
somebody likes dark stuff. Somebody likes kind of this sci-fi dark paranoia thing.
I mean, even if you think about Zoolander, think about that actual message.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see where he started to break from some of the Hollywood, because he did a bunch of movies that were kind of Hollywood movies too, because he was getting paychecks and they were keeping his star going. When he did Secret Life of Walter Mitty, didn't do great in the box office, but man, that is a fantastic film.
Yeah,
I thought I was into it.
It's so funny. Like, Hollywood loves to keep you in a box, and to punish you when you step out of your box, they go out of their way to make sure that once you step out of your box, you don't do well. You see it time and time again.
Right. Yeah. Well, Stiller has enough, especially
now
at this
he has
point,
enough money and power to do what he wants, and I'm happy for him on that.
Yeah, and what he wanted to do was Severance. I mean, holy cow! I loved it. Oh my God, we can't stop talking about it. We're dying for season 2. So Phil, did you have any questions?
Just with all the streaming, do you think there is more like creative freedom now for these guys to like step out of their
There
block?
isn't, and there isn't.
Right.
It depends on the risk, whatever place that you sign up wants to. Like, I know a lot of people at first were like on the Netflix bandwagon as seen through the lens of South Park, where they just greenlight anything. But I think a great one of my favorite movies would have never happened had it not been for Netflix, and that's Creep and Creep 2.
I haven't watched those yet.
Warning, there's flaccid penis. Uncomfortable, long amount of flaccid penis.
Did you watch?
What is this, a Charlie Esser movie?
Did you watch the reboot of Kids in the Hall? Plenty there, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I mean, and it is kind of necessary to the plot. And so, like, even 5 years ago, anywhere else, even HBO Max, whatever, would not do that for male full frontal nudity.
Right.
And Netflix will take that risk. I mean, and HBO Max did take that risk with Time Traveler's Wife. Theo James's butt is literally in every episode at least 10 times. And yet it didn't get renewed. The women loved it. We went crazy for it. Although, that story's problematic, but it did have the ratings, but they canceled it because it had a female audience. But females actually do drive the trends. I mean, why do men buy nice things? It's to impress women. So why wouldn't you want to? It's a whole thing. Sexist.
No, it's very true. I mean, let's go back to our network. Why did we, from the beginning, say we wanted 50% women? Because what are you doing if you're catering to one small slice, or if you're only giving one gaze? It's ridiculous. Even with our books, we're trying to get as much diversity in there as possible, because everybody's got a viewpoint and they should be heard and seen. And if it's not my viewpoint, because I'm a like I said, a 54-year-old white dude, tough to me.
And just like
You've heard my viewpoint.
I was going to say, and to super connect all together goes back to Warner Brothers, where they made the statement: HBO Max is for men, Discovery Plus is going to be for women.
Did they say that?
Yes, they literally said all the unscripted shows, the low budget shows that take no effort on Discovery Plus, all the testosterone spike, like think Spike TV, is going to be on HBO Max.
Really?
All the scripted stuff directed towards men is going to be on HBO Max. They literally said that in a slide during a freaking to your stockholders on a stockholder call, in a slide, in a presentation. Somebody in 2022 thought that was okay to put. So they are doomed.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a job, a job, in this world. Why don't they just hire me and I'll set that straight? Because I am looking at jobs like content producer, things like that.
Please put in a resume.
I mean, my God.
Please put in a resume. They need it. Like, you'll be the white guy Trojan, okay? Because the one guy that they have running, no, he's a trumpeter, like a proud trumpeter. I should not know your political affiliation. No. We don't know what I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige's a Republican, but we don't know that for sure.
He might be, but boy, it does not
affect
through.
His work. Exactly.
To the point that I kind of doubt he fully is. He might be conservative, but he's not part of this because it would bleed through. I
feel like honestly, he's a Bernie bro.
He might be. But I'm telling you, it would have bled through already.
Yeah, but this guy
especially
when
he's putting Captain America stuff out and it doesn't become all MAGA, which it could have. Yeah, how do I like Captain America and they don't? That very easily could have broken bad. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm out of this. Instead, they've been able to walk that line where you go, yeah, no, I get it. This isn't make America great and Trumpy and all that stuff.
Well, that's a good Captain America story. I mean, a movie or a comic, it doesn't get political. It's he's basically just like, no, I'm here.
Right, but he gets it and
help people. No, the politics. Yeah.
Well, look at poor Punisher though.
But in this modern era, they find a way to put that in. And what you just said about DC, or Warner Brothers, it sounds like
that's why they canceled like I said, the Flash movie had nothing to do with Batgirl. It was a woman.
Yeah,
of
look
color.
at that. Like we said,
I know.
Bad optics. They cancel. Yeah, the Woman of Color,
which sucks. Although, have you heard?
Allegedly they're having a Black Canary show, but I don't hold your breath on that.
I heard a little while ago that there were major problems with the script with that, and that they were having a problem editing it, making it a cohesive story.
I told Phil that a while ago. I was like, that movie's never going to happen regardless. I told him, did I not tell you that, Phil? Mm-hmm. And listen, when Lil says that Flash movie is not happening, I've been saying that for 5 years, even before Ezra was doing this.
Yeah, but
that Flash movie's never going to happen.
Don't give me bad script. I mean, Batman Superman got made. So
they don't care about bad script.
Yeah, don't tell me bad script. Come on, Batman v Superman. Come on, that got made.
Yeah,
they don't really care about bad script.
They wanted the publicity of it. Oh, we've got a woman of color as Batgirl, and we're gonna make this movie. Oh, but wait, it's only gonna be on HBO Max.
Well, why did they cancel Batwoman? I mean, they had
the
problems.
Black character showed up, and they kept trying to have Ruby Rose, who is super problematic as an actress and a person. Back.
Right.
Listen.
Yeah, what are we doing? We're getting told that's like what we don't want. That's not true.
The Arrowverse is done. I mean, Flash is getting one more season. That's it. So.
Yeah, well, it could have been done a little while ago. Frankly.
I do want to ask just one technical business question, as I always have to.
Okay, great. And that'll be the end.
Yes. Okay, you kind of mentioned Web 3.0, which I'm already deep in the thralls of with my Oculus in the metaverse.
Uh-huh.
How are you feeling? Do you think you're going to be able to pivot to a Web 3.0 world, or are you going to get left behind? Do you want to be left behind? A lot of people don't want to be in the metaverse. We don't want to be dependent on VR and stuff like that to have to go to work, conference. That's the plan.
Yeah,
I want to be left behind personally.
That's a great question. Okay, so yeah, boy, that's a multi-tiered question. I'm going to answer points. First of all, do I think I'll get left behind for a bit? Yeah, because I'm still in the throes, like with me learning all the web design and all that stuff, like working on that stuff. I finally feel like I'm getting a grip, and now I'm looking at Web 3.0 and going, this is another world that I got to get immersed in and figure this out. Will I get left behind totally? No, because I am looking at it. I'm trying to figure it out now. I'm trying to actually immerse myself in it so that I am there. You know me, I'm forward thinking. I am always trying to follow the innovation and stay in there. Do I think it's a good thing? I think you asked that. Yeah, I actually do. I do if it lives up to the promise of it, which is it's going to break us free of some of the stuff that's going on that's really negative right now with the internet. I think that it's going to give us a little more freedom of speech. That doesn't mean that's going to happen or stay, because as we know, as soon as people figure out how to give freedom of speech, they find a way to take it away. Do I want to get left behind? I never want to get left behind. Will I get left behind? Probably for a little bit. Now, the other part of the question, which is the thing you just said, where you said, I kind of wish I was left behind. You know what? No, I kind of wish it was in a box more. And it was a box that you could play in this box and do your thing in this box while keeping 2 as its own box. The problem is, as it goes forward, that box is going to bleed in, and this other is going to leave people behind. It's going to leave websites, just like when you go back and you look at the early stages of the web and you go, oh my God, how did I even deal with
IRC
this?
chats, baby.
Right. Some of it still seems like, hey, I kind of wish that stuff was around.
And that's what we're actually going back to. It's
right.
With Web 3.0.
Right. So that's the part of it that's exciting. The problem is
implementation. Like, I don't like the fact that Facebook has such a solid firm. They're literally buying up all the VR gaming studios, all the VR everything, and there's very little competition.
They're
and
not great.
Now, like, we don't have to have a Facebook, but we have to have an Oculus account, and then we also have to have like the actual social media within the Oculus universe. That's mandatory,
right?
And it's scary.
And
that's where not good with data, like.
Well, and that's exactly, and that's where I'm saying the promise is really good, but we're already seeing the rot of it through what Facebook is
NFTs just kind of really piss.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And that's a world that I've done a little research on, and I'm like, I don't get how this is such a thing.
It's just like real art. It's all a freaking money scam.
It really is. It
really is. Crypto's about to hit crypto's always been on the verge of teetering, but now that the recession's here too, crypto, like, it has its ebbs and its flows, and it's just like, it's really easy to, like that commercial. I don't know if you remember that commercial. I'm a millionaire? I'm not a millionaire.
Yeah, right.
Literally, it be like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, and it's funny because when you get into that crypto thing, like I've got some people that I follow or that I'm friends with, in the marketing business world, like big names. And it's almost like you mentioned the Trumpism stuff. This NFT thing and this crypto thing is almost
dog
like a
whistles
cult.
Everywhere.
And I see them go from being like, hey, I talk about Twitter and I'm giving all this great advice, to all of a sudden everything they're talking about is crypto. And it's like, that's their whole world. And I'm going,
Rob, can I ask you just another question? Maybe you can give me a little insight. Why do I don't mean to be weird about it, but I feel like when I'm on like just the internet and I see how easily and young white guys fall into a pipeline, an alt-right pipeline from anything, whether it be, ooh, I really like Thor, or ooh, I like squirrels. How do you go from, like, literally, there's a story on TikTok, but if it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. But, like, literally, they get, like, radicalized by anything. What is up with that? NFTs are another thing. It's like, all of a sudden, this guy who was, like, preaching about NFTs, now he has his own cult.
Yeah,
and it's got white supremacy ties. Like, how does that happen?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people get so easily brainwashed.
And this is what I mean. That's why I'm scared for Web 3.0, because it's supposed to like give it free back to the people. But if we look at 4chan,
exactly, because what do they do with it? And then how does it get bastardized? How does it get monetized? How does it put the message out there that just happened? And we go, it seems like we're in an alternate reality where I look at this and I go, but that's how this is clearly full of lies, yet people are just buying every lie. And then there's this other side that's going, but I see their lies, but I can't seem to do anything about it. It's very weird. How do they get radicalized? I don't know. I feel like people get brainwashed. I think
hug your children.
We're not just talking politically. We're not just talking politically. Yeah, they like.
Veganism, being a gym bro, anything.
I think
Don't you see it coming some too? Where all of a sudden, like you're watching TikTok and you'll see a couple of posts and you go, "Uh-oh, this is what's about to happen."
You watch it in real time. It's crazy,
and it's not a trend. You know, this is something I think is really stupid, and the lowest common denominator. Oh no, it's gaining traction, and you see it coming a mile away. I don't know how to counteract it.
That's the scary part for me. Like, these kids are like, just hug your kids. I feel like, because in capitalism, unfortunately you have to work, and sometimes you have to work 2 or 3 jobs. I mean, everybody's shooting for the middle class. That's the carrot they dangle, but we're never going to get there.
What middle class?
Exactly. That's the carrot they dangle, but it doesn't actually exist.
Right.
And so people have to work and they can't spend time with their kids. And, screen time is easy.
Hey, man, it's what we're talking about around here, because when I transition into actually having a traditional job, a non-traditional,
the first time ever, how are you guys gonna cope? How are you gonna cope?
Not the first time ever. I mean, I've had jobs. You haven't known me when I've had regular jobs, but I've had regular jobs, and I've not had good experiences. But those bad experiences add up to me figuring out how to make good experiences for others. Taking a traditional job, it will be more of a non-traditional job. It's more exec level, whatever I go for, something where I can kind of call my shots, and I can work within. There was one that so they already hired somebody for this one that I applied for, but it was one where I would definitely have freedom to create. That's what I need. Mm-hmm. But even at that, like, we're looking at these jobs, and there's like right now, if you take what we make, it's not very much. And we kind of stretch by. And then we went, okay, well, what's the level where we break through that? My God, if we make a move somewhere else and we're getting more money and we're doing all this stuff, by the time you take out all the insurance stuff and all the other expenses of moving in that, like, we're back to like scrounging. And
that's
do I have to drive
DoorDash?
Exactly. So that's what we're struggling with now too.
And you would have that conversation about how 6 figures is even after taxes isn't really 6 figures, because if you don't know how to, and they don't teach you financial literacy like in school for some random reason.
Right. No, some random reason. It's by design. It's just like Maeve and I beat the drum about this forever. Not only should that be core, like from kindergarten on, some basic stuff. Like, I used to go in and do junior achievement with kids and try to teach a little bit of that. And it was like, we didn't have this when I was a kid, and it's not in every class, and they get an hour of it their whole time from me. Right. We talk about it all the time, that like financial intelligence and how to handle this stuff, how to handle day-to-day stuff. Those should be core classes, not just, I signed up for home ec.
No, think about it. A lot of the times kids first hear about taxes is what? The FAFSA form.
Right.
Crazy. You're going to college.
Right. Well, and take the FAFSA. I help people all the time with that, because our friends' kids will be like, oh my God, they're so intimidated by it. Then our friends are intimidated by it. And I'm like, do you know that form takes nothing to fill out?
Yeah, I know.
It's nothing to fill out. But they're so scared of it and so intimidated because there's so much information that's lost or not given, or it's made to be intimidating. But the other one we always say is from day one, kids should be taught critical thinking, and they should be taught. Oh no, baby! They should be taught gameplay. They should absolutely, like, D&D should be a class. And I'm telling you, it you got to crush their free.
You know that saying, kids could fly except for their parents telling them they can't, and
it's true. We never told Molly she can't.
And look at her, she's soaring. That's what
she is. I mean, and here she is, 15. There are states where she is already done with high school requirements. We're not graduating her. We could technically graduate her just about any time now, and she's only 15.
Were you going to go the 16 route, or are you just going to hold on to your little precious baby bird?
Well, it's not that we're holding on.
Or whenever she wants to.
It's when she wants to. And what we're actually thinking is we want to give her, if she wants to go the next 3 years, kind of coasting on this, she can, because we're filling her life with experiences. Give her every opportunity. And, if she starts college classes, when does she have time to write? Which, when she's writing, look what she wins, a fine arts award. You know what I mean? She's learning guitar. She's actually getting really good. She's
And
writing
again,
songs like crazy.
Keeping
3
those
years
kids
from
busy.
now, 3 years from yeah, we give her time to think and explore, and we talk about critical thinking, and we play games.
Why do children need to be in school 8 hours? Because
They
that's
don't.
what a typical work shift is.
Well,
You're
no,
making workers.
I'll tell you why they do.
Because the parents are at work.
Well, it's
Babysitters.
babies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But there was Maeve could speak on this a lot better than I can, but she did a lot of research when we started homeschooling Molly. And there is a really well-respected homeschooler or teacher, professor, I believe, who said that everything that children learn all the way up through high school can be taught in like 40 hours or something.
No, that's true. And
So why are they in class that much?
A high school graduate couldn't pass a 6th grade class back in like the 1800s or something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm going to ask her right now. How
Poor
many
Phil.
Why is a work day?
hours?
Why is a work day 8 hours a day?
Well, you're lucky that's all it is. Unions fought for that right, buddy.
Oh, please. I know.
I mean, most factory
I know.
workers are still working 10, 12, so.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah.
Shift work.
Yeah. How did this turn into this show? Way to go, Phil.
Sorry.
I'm blaming Phil.
No, blame me, because, yeah.
No,
But
I don't
yeah.
blame you. I think, in fact, I blame
Your
us.
ADHD medication.
Yeah, I think that I think this might be another show. Is just Rob and Lilith talking stuff.
No, it's just because capitalism. Honestly, that's
Yeah.
that's the root of all evil. Because love of money, what is capitalism?
Yeah.
Stay tuned, Rob. We might have
And
something.
that, my friend, is how Lilith Hellfire got radicalized and why she's moving to Mexico.
Stay tuned, kid. Stay tuned, Rob. You might have a place to a show to guest on. It's coming in January. So
Okay. Hey, I'm always up for guesting. You know that. And then I end up with my own show afterwards. You know what? I'm actually guesting on another show. This is really funny. It's a sports show. I don't know anything about
What?
sports, really. Yes, they want me to come on. They said they do pregame for the Bears games, and
The Bears.
they have people on that are entrepreneurs and all that before the game, just kind of talking about their stuff. I was like, really? And they said, yeah, we'd love to have you on. You're such a great guest. I'm like, okay, watch me end up with a sports show that doesn't talk about sports.
You know the problem with baseball.
And then we'll end up like the game started. We're still talking.
what about the design of those uniforms? Come on.
I would. Maybe I would talk about that. There's some bad ones. So yeah. I'll stay tuned. I'll add links to that.
Rob
at
is
some
a
point.
busy bee. That is the moral of the story.
I am. Before we go, Phil, I'm trying to pay attention to this. I'm going to invite you guys to come on New Media Lab as a team. So we got to get you on the schedule. I'm relaunching New Media Lab. It is working a little differently than it has in the past. I finally feel good about it. I've started booking people and recording. I want the two of you on New Media Lab. So stay tuned to your message thread for an Acuity scheduler, because I want to get you on there. And I also want one of you, both of you, any of you to come on for 3 questions on Chicago Podcasters Unite, because I definitely need those too. Those are super, super easy. So you guys are invited to be on those. It's funny. I don't even call them shows. New Media Lab's a show. All the other stuff I do, I don't call shows, but it's like they're like for other people that would be a full podcast.
The Rob Southgate experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have no idea.
Oh.
I've got, depending on what happens with work, I've got 2 more really fantastic shows that I'm waiting to launch. 3 shows I'm waiting to launch. One of them
I'm
won't be.
telling Maeve. That's
No,
it.
she knows. She knows. One of them will only
enjoying her free
live
time, Lil.
on a secret web page and on a Facebook group that you have to get into. You have to be permitted into. I've already posted a couple of things in this one, and people like the thing that's going
The
on there.
Secret
I'm like,
Life of Rob Southgate.
yeah, because I don't get enough time sitting in front of a microphone and a computer. Look, I almost have skin color because I've been outside.
You touch grass?
We got to correct
Was that
that.
a mullet?
Mullet? No, I don't. I
said mullet. Silly.
was going to say, if you're saying I have a mullet,
No, mowing grass.
oh,
Whoa!
yeah,
'Cause
yeah. I need spray on here. If I end up on Jimmy Kimmel, I'll have to spray it on. Does he still have a show?
Do any of the Late Show talk show hosts still have a show? And why?
I have no idea.
I think
Didn't John Baptiste just left Tonight Show?
Who?
I just read that. Yeah,
Wait.
it wasn't like a big fight or anything. It's just, he spent his time and he
Stephen
just
Colbert's show. Okay.
yeah, he just ended as band leader, like no pomp and circumstance, even though he and Colbert are friends, and it's like he was great on there. But as much as I watched it, I don't really watch those shows.
I haven't watched him since he literally left Comedy Central.
You know what? His monologues can be really good. They can be really good. So I'll watch those on YouTube sometimes, but otherwise, who cares? Who cares?
I miss Jon Stewart. I stand by that.
Yeah, Jon Stewart, that was the best show ever. That one was
when we really needed him, and he's never been back.
Yeah. Well, he's too busy getting politicians to act like adults.
True. So I'll take that, but I still miss him.
So follow me on Twitter, which I don't post on, at Rob Southgate. Is it that or is it at R Southgate? It's at R Southgate.
R Southgate, sweet.
And follow me on Instagram. You know what? Just go to my link tree. Or you know what? I don't even know what that is because I've got so many things going on. Follow me on Facebook. How's that? Follow
That's the best.
Third best Southgate, and I'll post my link tree there. We can also put it in the show notes. But that's the best way to do it. There's just way too many things. And if you want to know about my secret stuff, you can always message me. Mm-hmm.
For now, the secret sauce is made. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
don't be surprised if interdimensional Bigfoot doesn't get talked about on one of these.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God, I love interdimensional Bigfoot. Okay, what's up, Phil?
We have a link tree too. Linktree.com/Capes and Lunatics. But yes, no, I said Lilith and I are starting something new in January. You're definitely going to be asked to guest on an episode. Salty and Petty, right, Lilith?
The Salty and the Petty show, yes.
Just Phil and Lilith go nuts on whatever.
We feel like we needed a full stream ahead, but without the TV shows.
And without the Esser?
We need to keep
Your tagline could be...
You know, we have very juvenile humor. I just feel so bad for Charlie sometimes. Because all Phil and I want to do are freaking poop and dick jokes. That's all we want. In peace, without judgment.
You could call the show Lesser Esser.
Oh! Lesser than Esser.
And I did get a text back from Maeve that the stat is it's 100 hours or less. They can learn everything they would.
Well, that makes sense because that's how long it takes to get the GED. No, actually, right?
So imagine how many hours they spend in school.
Socialization.
Wasting time. Yeah, which is garbage.
PE.
Yeah, socialization where they have to sit next to each other and not say a word or they get in trouble.
Yeah.
Or I can't even go to the bathroom. Have to ask somebody.
Yeah, It's ridiculous. People always say that about homeschool, and we look at Molly and we're like, Molly has more friends than anybody I know. She can talk to anybody, any age, at any time. I would say socialization is not a problem. I'd say that's a you problem.
Just glorify. That's why they don't respect teachers. Well, and it's a woman's profession now. When it was a man's profession, it was a little different. Men got paid more. But that's a whole different bag of hammers for another show. It
very much is. We're getting political again. Let's end this thing. And thank you.
It's not political,
so much.
It's factual.
It is factual. Yeah, I'm not avoiding it. I'm just saying we're running out of time. Phil wanted it cut to an hour, and look at this. We're at 1:17.
He just told us an hour, so we do it under 1:30.
I knew when I say an hour. I knew what a Rob Southgate hour
we're doing it. That's right. I live out of time, Phil.
Wibbly wobbly stuff.
By Rob's conception of time, we're in the 22nd century. So
it's kind of sad. I have time blindness. Molly likes to talk about it too because she has it too. We have time blindness. You could say, remember when we started the podcast network? And I'm like, yeah, yesterday. Oh, wait, no, that was 10 years ago. Wait a minute. How old am I? I do know my age. I said it a bunch of times on the show.
He has it written on his hand.
It's because I'm reminding myself. I mean, I probably went a good decade where I really couldn't have told you my age. Now I've got kind of a system so I know my age. It's weird. I live out of time.
He remembers how old he is. That's the
tagline. I'm out of time.
I know how old I am.